Well, hello there, humans, hippies, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and hope you're lucky enough to be doing it too. I'm Bushcon Blitz, and this is a patron-sponsored post. It is the last video I will be making for 2016. After this, it's laptop off, get the surfing gear on, and I am done for a week. But it won't be dropping on New Year's Day. It will be dropping later on in the week. It is, in fact, not a video about the Comet at all, although the Comet is in the video. And I'm going to be doing a review of the Comet in the very near future because it's been a long time coming. And there has been some severe power creep at tier 7 and 8 where the Comet sees a lot of its work. So it's well worth another look at what is one of my favorite tanks all time in Blitz. What is this video about then? Well, we're going to have a look at two games on the same map. One is with the Grill 15, or the Grille 15. Oh God, I forget the pronunciation of this. Don't persecute me anymore, humans. I'm but one man. And the other one is in the Comet, which is why I'm showing you the Comet at the start. I don't know. It's a tenuous link at best, but there you go. I want to talk about how, you know, you've got different ways of playing the same part of the same map depending on the kind of tank you're in. And I'm going to show you, and depending on the kind of game you're in. And I just want to talk in very general terms about that and really explore it as a bit of a topic because I see so many people who play the same way on the same map every single time with every different tank. And it's a bit of a standard thing with human nature. We tend to repeat what we're successful with. And that's good because there's a genetic disposition. Being successful and repeating what made you successful is a big part of actually, surviving in a world gone mad. I've just finished the Asia stream, the gold giveaway, and I've got that up at the moment. And hopefully by now you're a chance of receiving your stolen goods, or at least your booty from Wargaming 3 days premium time and 500 gold. And I'm very happy to give away stuff for NA and EU and everyone else. But those parts of Wargaming have to actually give me gold to give away. And Asia was good enough to put up 30 packs, so 30 packs went on out. As always, it's a patron-sponsored post. This is how I bring the money in and actually make a living. Now, this is the Comet, and this is Canal. Now, we're going to do this from different spawns, but we are going to do it on the same area, the same section for the most part. And that's this area over here in front of me, directly to the east. The railway line is our home, and we're going to go straight down it and then run around. Now, this is a supremacy game. The Comet has a couple of things going for it, but one of them, as you probably know if you've watched the channel for a long time, and I suppose maybe not, because there's 440 plus videos on here now, although some of them are unlisted and they're patron-only stuff. So I think there's probably about 420 standard videos here. And the Comet was a long, long time ago. I did a song about the Comet for my 500 subscriber live stream. 500 subscriber celebration, and that was a really, really long time ago. It seems like we're up to nearly 24,000 subs now, something like that. Comet's got amazing gun depression. It's got a absolute cubic buttload of gun depression. And what is a cubic buttload in real terms? Well, it's 12 degrees. Oh, by the way, Tank Compare is a website you need to get a hold of. tank-compare.blitzstars.com. Sock Robber Dave has put up a area there where you can look at the stats of every single tank in the game and compare them against other tanks. So you'll know all those stats and then you'll be a lot better off for it. It's got an incredible rate of fire and it's got superb damage per minute. At tier 7, it has a raw DPM of 2400. And that means after vents and rammer and everything else, you have 3,000 damage per minute, which is on a par with tier 9 mediums and better than every single tier medium in tier 8. In fact, it's better than some tier 9 mediums as well. So you can imagine how effective it can be. And I'm using the gun depression around this area and just using the hills to get shots off without exposing myself at all. And as you saw in that little bit of run earlier, where I was at the top of that hill, I was moving up and down and using the incredible mobility, the incredible gun depression, and the good camo to just put an endless amount of shots in over here. And I'm still doing it. And that's because Canal is a map that really lends itself to ridge fighting. And you might not think that from looking at the map itself. But there's sections of the map like this, like the areas above the caps and such, which really allow you to take advantage of anything that's got solid gun depression and a good range of targets. And that's fine and dandy. What the Comet doesn't have is the ability to go toe-to-toe with a lot of these big, angry, heavy tanks that are tier 8s. And so I'm keeping my distance. I also don't have the Alpha to play Peekaboo effectively. So once I lose track of targets and I lose track of shots, I've got to go and get involved and find them. And that's really important because the other tank I'm going to use on this map is the Grill, and it's a completely different kettle of fish. The Grill is a big tank with 150 millimeters worth of alpha, and that means you can do 640 damage every single time you hit someone on average. The Comet does 160 alpha. It does its damage with a low caliber 75 millimeter gun, and 75 millimeters, while it's fine at tier 7, is not going to cut the mustard really at any tier from tier 7 and up in terms of pure stopping power. It doesn't discourage people like a Grill does. You're also going to have to stay on target for a lot longer. So I'm driving the map and I'm looking for targets and I'm just edging my tank around. You'll see this IS-3. I'm going to try and perma-track him because I have that ability in this tank. He's going to repair it and I'm going to have to move forward. But I'm still exceptionally wary of exposing any part of my tank because while the Comet is a medium with a bit of a trollish turret, it is by no means whatsoever the kind of tank that will take shots from a BL9, which is what that IS-3 is rocking. And indeed, it's not the kind of tank that can be put in that situation at any time at all. The Grill is not that tank either. So they share that commonality. You've got to make sure that you're not taking a lot of return fire and you're not hit point trading. And we win this one and we play it pretty conservatively the whole way through. It's a quick tank, but we don't go haywire. And we still do good damage. We do 2,500 damage, which is bloody good in a tier 7 tank. Averaging that, you'd be very, very happy. But what about if you're running a tier 10 tank that is every bit as fragile as a Comet, if not more? Let's be honest. The Grill exists in an ecosystem that has such luminaries as the FV215-183, the Jagdpanzer E100, the E100, T110 E3s and 4s. All these tanks that have the ability to absolutely drop enormous amounts of hurt on the Grill at any point in time. And you're going to see that in spades in this video. Again, it's a supremacy map. So what we're going to be doing here is pushing up. Now, this is a little bit unorthodox. The Grill is a very, very quick tank in a straight line. It'll do 60 kilometers an hour, but it doesn't hold speed well through turns, and it doesn't have a very, very quick turning circle. So rather than be super safe and go back around behind and through spawn, what I'm doing is just taking a very, very solid bet that the rest of the Reds won't get there in time, and 60 kilometers an hour will in fact get me across there easy peasy lemon squeezy. And we take a shot and we return a shot. Where the Grill really differs from a tank like the Comet or anyone with good gun depression is that it can't just pop out and get the shots whenever it wants. It's very much grounded by the amount it can put its gun down. And while it would be nice to be able to sneak around and do that with the Grill, it would probably be tremendously overpowered. And when you are in a tank that's as fragile as this, you really have to weigh up your shots and figure out when you're going to hit them. I'm also resetting camo on the Grill. The joy of resetting camo on a tank like the Grill is you get to do that to IS-8s with one shot. And that's the real difference here. The Grill, as opposed to the Comet, can deliver huge amounts of damage, but it can do it in very, very specific bursts. And there's this huge argument, it's ages old, between damage over time or damage per minute, like in a Comet, which does really, really good damage per minute, and front-loaded damage, the ability to do absolute masses of damage up close and then have nothing coming out of the spout thereafter. And it really affects the way you play the tank. There's a 183 there. I know he can absolutely smash me if he catches me. So I'm in a really tough situation, but I really want to hit that IS-8. And because he's far enough away, I'm hoping to not get spotted. Alas, I'm spotted. Now that whole damage over time thing, he comes at 183. I'm going to skedaddle. I'm going to get the hell out of town ASAP. That whole damage over time thing is key. Damage over time is wonderful, but you have to be able to put the damage into the target, and that means you are becoming a target yourself. It's very, very hard to peek a boom, and by that I mean go out, take a shot, pull back, reset camo, be safe, go out, take a shot, pull back, reset camo, be safe. And I'm going to move up here because I want to make sure that this D doesn't get capped, even if it costs me a hit, even if it costs me my actual entire hit point pool, because that 183 is going to come around the corner and delete me. And that's fair enough. It's worth holding this cap because it means we're going to get the win. The Grille does do very good damage per minute. It gets 3,700 damage per minute out with all its kit. So don't mistake that at all, because it is a tier 10 TD, and boys and girls, tier 10 TDs do the business. But it does it in an entirely different way to the Comet. And you've seen that in this game, how we've had to be very, very concise with our shots, and we're pushing up here because the game's nearly over, and we just want to get a shot in and do a little bit of damage and stop that guy from capping right there, which we're going to do. And you can see we'll get one shot in before we're obliterated. And that's fair enough. Deserve it. I hope that was a little bit insightful, and it gave you a little bit of food for thought. And the next time you go and play a game on this map or on any map like it, you think about the different ways your tank can be effective and you play it accordingly. Because if you don't, all you're going to end up with is a very subpar performance. You may well learn how to use a hull down tank, and that's wonderful, but you can't hull down from the top of ridges in a Grille. You'll just get lit up. You've got to learn to be sneaky and savage at the same time. I'm Bushcron Blitz. I hope you liked the video. I hope you have a great New Year's Eve, and I'm going to be back from camping in a week. This video is scheduled to drop the entire time. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in and around the traps when I get back, and can't wait for 2017. So look after your families. I really appreciate all that you've given me and all that you've done for me this year. Until next time, bye for now.